Please.
And when the Philistine looked about, he saw David.
He looked about, he saw David.
He disdained him.
He disdained him.
For he was but a youth.
He was but a youth.
And ruddy, or Rudy.
Little redhead, come on.
Countenance.
Fair countenance, okay, go ahead.
And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog?
Am I a dog? Okay, you come out here, am I a dog? You're going to send a kid out here with stick? Come on now. Send me a real champion. This guy don't even look like a match for me. Read.
And the Philistine cursed David by his
Philistine cursed David.
And the Philistine said to David, Come to me.
Come to me.
I'll give thy flesh to the fowls of the
I'll give you flesh to the fowls of the air. Read.
Then David said to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with the sword and with the spear and with the shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts.
I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts. You come with sword and shield, but I come in the name of the Lord of hosts. Read, please.
And the God of the armies of Israel.
The God of the armies of Israel.
Whom thou hast defied.
Whom thou hast defied. Read.
This day will the Lord
deliver you into my hand. Now this is a little kid. A boy saying this while the army and the king are back there paralyzed in fear. Enslaved to their own fears, folks. All right? You ever look at scarecrows? Scarecrow. Okay? What's a scarecrow? What are they for? To scare crows, right. And guess what? They don't move. They're dead. They're lifeless. But they scare crows. And the crows won't get the corn. Why? Because of that thing over there. Okay? And our brethren won't do a bunch of nothing because of that thing over there. What thing over there? We don't know. We've never checked it out. It's that thing over there. Read on, please. Go ahead.
This day was let me get down here. And I will give thy, it says, I will take thine head from thee.
I'll take your head from you.
And I will give the carcass to the host of the Philistines.
I'll give the carcass to the host of the Philistines. Read.
To the fowls of the air.
To the fowls of the air. To the wild beasts of the.
And that all the earth may know.
That all the earth may know that there is what? A God in Israel. We need to let them know the world that there's a God in the Church of Christ. Amen. The folk at Fresh Start know that there's a God in the Church of Christ. Okay? Okay? Those families of the men who have come through Fresh Start over the last 15 years know that there is a God in the Church of Christ. They know it. Folks, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. David, God chose him as a boy, and now God is training him to be the man, mighty king. And how is he going to train him? Through experiences in his life. All Israel is afraid, and this boy is not afraid. Why? Daniel chapter 11, verse 31 and 32. Let's turn back over there again, please. We looked at this the other night. Daniel chapter 11, verse 31, 32. Jonathan, read it, please.
And arms shall stand on its part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary.
They shall pollute. This is Antiochus Epiphanes, one of the grandsons of one of Alexander the Great's generals who had conquered the Palestinian and Middle Eastern area. All right, read.
And shall take away the daily sacrifice.
He shall take away the daily sacrifice of the Jews, the people of God. Read.
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolation.
And
such as do wickedly against the covenant shall be corrupt by flattery.
He shall corrupt some by flatteries. In other words, this man is going to flatter a lot of the people of God who are going to compromise, and he's going to sacrifice a pig on the altar of the Holy of Holies. That's what he did, folks. He cut off the sacrifices, and that sparked the Maccabean rebellion. And Jews died by the thousands every day. But their position was, we will die before we let this guy cause this abomination, the abomination that causes the desolation. We will die, you got to destroy every one of us, but we will never allow a heathen to carry on these kinds of sacrifices continually in our holy place. And after 3 years, Antiochus Epiphanes was out of there. Okay? But folks, look at the text. Look what it says, though. But it says what? When all this is happening?
The people that do know their
but
God,
the people, listen to this, folks, the people that know their God will be strong and always take action. Okay? When they see the worst happening to people, when they see the worst happening in their community, when they see the worst happening, hey, Brother Raines, children small, attack one of the children, okay? Nobody has to have a business meeting to figure out what Brother Raines should do. It's already done. Amen? Before the business meeting. Amen? And folks, we've got to see other people in that light. Because God has us here for one reason, and that is to save the lost. That's why he has us here. And what's happening in our schools? Moral relativism. That's what the teachers are teaching them, folks. All right? 8-year-old kid at my congregation told to write a paper in San Francisco on whether homosexuality is right or wrong, or is it just an alternative lifestyle. Mother looked at it and said, son, do you believe this? He said, well, no, I don't believe it, Mama, but, you know, the teacher, I know that's what the teacher want to hear. She said, she told it to me, and we conspired and said, hey, you write what you really believe, man, and I dare that teacher. Okay? I'll spend every dime I got and a dime of a whole lot of other folk in the court, okay? Okay, dealing with this teacher. Understand, folks, that John Dewey is a co-signer of the Humanist Manifesto. Okay? Humanism is that philosophy that says man has outgrown God. Okay? Man has no need for God, all right? All right? Machiavelli, Picasso, Petrarch, Renaissance writers of the 14th century, they're the ones who really propagated and made humanism the thing of the day back in the 14th century. If you want to understand how influential their writings were, the person who united all Italy through war, pillage, and a whole lot of cutthroat, another Saddam of his day, he slept with the Prince, written by Machiavelli, under his pillow every night. Mussolini, the Italian dictator, he did his doctoral thesis on the Prince. Patterns of thought, folks. All right? All right, how about it, folks? Darwin. Okay, Darwin, Charles Darwin, the guy who wrote Origin of the Species, who said, basically, he said God exists, but those who taught after him said he didn't exist. In evolution, or that is, a natural selection is how we got here, and there's no need for God. So that supported humanism. But there was a guy by the name of Abraham Nietzsche who decided, oh boy, this is a great scientific study to spin off on a concept that, you know, a political concept called not quite Nazism, but I forgot, fascism, okay? And so what happened was Adolf Hitler became a disciple of Nietzsche. And that's how we had 100 million people to lose their lives in World War II. Isn't that amazing? Okay, the world was on fire because of the philosophy of Machiavelli, going all the way back to the 14th century, okay? This is being taught in our high schools, our colleges, folks. Television, the other night I was looking, and this young person who was part of a newspaper at UCLA told it just like I saw it over 20 years ago. On your college campuses, your universities, they are teaching that there are no longer any absolutes. John Dewey, the father of progressive education, that's where it all came from, co-signer of the Humanist Manifesto in the 30s, folks. Horace Mann, Unitarian, he's the father of secular education in this country, folks. And it takes a few generations for the undermining to take hold. And folks, those are the kind of people that are killing each other. Those are the kind of people who could have a kid here, a kid there, a kid there, and walk away and think nothing of it. Those are the kind of people who think that, hey, my mama got my kids, and so I'm young, I got to have my fun.